Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Mandem Football. Before I even get started, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the video below. Follow me on Instagram at Demeachnyc if you haven't already, and follow me on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it, at Mandem_football. And can't lie, I'm not feeling too well. I got a little bit of a dry throat, so not coming in with so much energy like I usually do. But of course, I got to get back to business. And there were some good games that were played in the Premier League this morning. First things first, Newcastle won extremely well against Leicester. Four for Newcastle, nil to Leicester. I did not expect that to happen. I actually expected it to be quite a close one because of Newcastle's reputation. Sometimes they're very good, and then sometimes they just seem to not get anything going. And Ruud van Nistelrooy under Leicester City have been doing pretty well ever since he's been in office for them. So I just expected the game to go a little differently than it did. But, big up Newcastle. They are a dangerous team to play against. They have great players in their attack, especially, and they got the job done. As for Arsenal, they dropped points against, who did they play? Against, am I tripping? Oh, against Everton. Sorry, they dropped points against Everton, 0-0, both at the Emirates. Tough draw, tough result for Arsenal, especially in the title race as of right now. And for Liverpool, they also dropped points, but that was a end-to-end game. Two for Liverpool, two for Fulham. Yeah, definitely a game that was entertaining because to start off the game, Fulham scored early on into the game. Robertson got a red card. As you can see, they were down to 10 men. And then Liverpool came back and made it 1-1. Then Fulham made it 2-1. And then Liverpool came back with Jota coming off the bench to be a super sub and made it 2-2 to end the game square. Aston Villa are playing at the moment right now. But I definitely want to dive into the two games that were played today, the Arsenal game against Everton and the Liverpool game against Fulham. First things first, Arsenal against Fulham, because that was the game that I was actively watching and taking notes on. Again, this is very similar to what we saw against Manchester United, very similar to what we saw against Fulham last week, and also quite similar to what we saw against Monaco. Arsenal are very good at controlling the game and being very dominant with the ball, but nothing really to show for that in the final third. Uh, I think it's very interesting to see how many fans react to this sort of game because of what's at stake. But I have to be real and I have to say that, listen, Arsenal didn't play poorly. I don't think Arsenal played bad. I don't think Arsenal were horrible. It's just the fact that, they're in a situation where they need to win games. They are 6 points behind Liverpool, and Liverpool have a game in hand. And the fact that they have a game in hand would make them 9 points, assuming that they win that extra game in hand. So, Arsenal have no time to be dropping points. They have absolutely no time to be not winning games because they are good enough to do so. But, you have to take into account that the way Everton set up against Arsenal, they were playing off the ball in a 5-4-1 or 4-5-1 sometimes. So it's very hard to break down for Arsenal, especially with the players that they have. They don't really have those players that can run in behind that have that pace. Certain players that I'm looking at that are able to do that for Arsenal could possibly be Leandro Trossard or Gabriel Martinelli or Raheem Sterling. But these aren't top elite players that can turn on the dime and can really push and break the lines, like say Isaac at Newcastle or Victor Gyökeres at Sporting, that I've been saying is the best striker in the world and needs to play for a team like Arsenal because they need a player like him. You know, but at the moment Arsenal can't do that because they're not good in the transition. So the way they have to play is basically you know start from scratch, work their way up the pitch, and to find something, and over and over again, teams are gonna count that out, and they're gonna find that, listen, if we just put five at the back, if we just play disciplined, if we just park the bus a little bit, then they're not gonna break them down, and that's what happened with Arsenal today. But from open play, moving the ball around and trying to, break down Everton and controlling the pace of the game and to control the rhythm and having still those chances in order to score, especially in the first half, I wouldn't look at this as an Arsenal fan and say Arsenal were poor. It's just frustrating that they didn't get the result that they wanted. So I think you have to look at that as if you're an Arsenal fan and say, well, in other circumstances, it wasn't the result that we wanted, but the fact that they were able to still play the way they did and move the ball around and to really control the game and to really reduce the chances for Everton because Everton didn't do really anything with the ball, you know, that just goes to show you how dominant Arsenal could be. They just need to get that one player in order for them to really get them to the next level because that's the true and evident thing that is needed for Arsenal in order to really win things and to really, be at the top and be amongst elite teams in the world because a lot of teams surrounding them, like Chelsea and Manchester City and Liverpool and Real Madrid, they all have those players that are able to really beat you in the transition. Even Tottenham, their biggest rivals, right? They are not at that level because they have players like Kai Havertz, who's good but can't do that. But Kyle Saka can do it, but he's the only player that can run in behind and really break a team down inevitably, right? Compared to Mo Salah at Liverpool. So that's really the take on Arsenal. Um, for Liverpool, you know, we're looking at Liverpool and we're really saying to ourselves, listen, like I was looking at the game and I'm going, okay, they're a man down, they're 1-0 down, but they're still going to come back into this game. And that's what they did. And they didn't get the 3 points, but Liverpool are inevitable, right? They are absolutely impossible to really like not get a result against. And I mean, they're impossible to get a result against, especially a win. And this is just what Liverpool do. I mean, how many games have they been undefeated ever since they lost to Nottingham Forest? They basically haven't lost the game since then. They've been incredible. But my point is that Liverpool, they just never seem to be the team to die out. They just seem like they're going to come back into the game because they have the quality on the field, like Mohamed Salah, who gets his 100th assist today, and they have the likes of Jota, who comes on the pitch, coming off the bench as a super sub, who could definitely be a starter any day of the week for another team. Right? That's how good Jota is. Their attack is incredible. And players like Curtis Jones, who once again proves to me he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, and surely should get a call up by Thomas Tuchel if he pays close attention to what he's doing. So, Liverpool are exceptional, and if you're a Chelsea fan, you're probably looking at this like perfect. This is exactly what we need. But you have to remember they are still a game in hand, so anything can really happen with that. But big game tomorrow though. That's the big one I'm really paying attention to. Manchester City against United. As we can see, Manchester City are only 3 points behind Arsenal, so this means a lot for Manchester City. But it could mean a damn sure a lot for Manchester United if they are to get a victory against their big rivals, Manchester City. So we'll see what happens. That's all I got for today. Today's a short one. I definitely need to rest up and to really digest what's going on in the Premier League and to the rest of football because I need that rest and my back is absolutely killing me right now. So I'm just going to take a good rest for today and get ready for tomorrow. And if I haven't seen y'all already, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.